Harry, tell us about OpenAV Productions and how it got started and what problem it's trying to solve.
So I guess OpenAV kind of started initially with my own, playing music and trying to do some live looping and trying to, change how you can perform live on stage, not just here's me and a guitar, but here's me and a guitar and a whole band of technology with me that you can really push the limits of live performance. You can turn up on your own and just blow people away with this really amazing performance, and it's all just controlled on your own. So essentially all the OpenAV software that I'm building is geared towards live performance, on-stage use, and really trying to push the limits of live performance. So what problem do I solve? Is there a problem there is a better question, I think. I don't see it as a problem. It's all kind of a gray scale kind of thing, right? But really what I'm trying to do is, give artists the tools and the software they need to try and, really make a really impressive show with open source software and based on open source tools.
Yeah, well, I remember back when the introduction in the early days of when the programmable synthesizers started showing up on stages, and I was curious, how well can people migrate from, say, a classic thing that just has presets to something where they've actually got a lot more capability, and things have really progressed. I mean, it sounds like you're all the way to the other end where you've got, well, tell us about what the interface is, and do I need a laptop on stage to use this?
So the way it works with OpenAV software is basically the way I run it here when I'm testing the software itself is I have a normal desktop computer. It runs whatever distro of Linux you're interested in yourself. And then what you do with it is run a piece of software called Jack. Jack's a fantastic piece of software that lets basically audio be routed within your computer. And then I run OpenAV software after that. So you can plug a guitar into the computer, and then the software that works on that or loops the audio, or, there's a lot of things we can do with it. So the workflow for me then, in terms of trying to actually make music with this stuff and to make it useful, is turn on the computer, set up the gear. So there's always a mixer and a piece of hardware, plug in the guitar, plug in your speakers or your headset, whichever you're using, and then start playing music. So is there hardware required? Most certainly, yes. There's a computer, there's a screen, there's a mouse, there's a keyboard, there's a whole range of other things that all need to be set up. Now, it's not that much effort, but at the same time, it's not something that you particularly want to take onto stage, because there's a lot of chance that if you're rocking out on the stage and you kick a cable somewhere, something's going to die. Your show is going to be over a little sooner than you'd intended, purely because, hey, look, you're here with a computer on stage, and these things happen. I mean, we've all seen the YouTube clips of the most famous artists on stage, and a blue screen pops up and says, "This is the end of the show." So that's kind of something that you obviously don't want to have. In terms of the software itself, and the interfaces, and what I really try and focus on is usability in a live context. And what I mean with that is workflow. So for people not familiar with the term of workflow, it's really how you interact with a piece of technology. So it's not so much what the technology does, but how you use it. So a mobile phone is a good example, in that how you use it is very different to what it does. You take it out of your pocket and you have Facebook, your Gmail, your everything is there. But the technology itself, it's a screen and a keyboard. So your workflow really focuses on, how do you use this and what do you do with it? What am I trying to get to here? Essentially, with music software, it's very easy to get bogged down and to get held up by all the technical details, by the fancy features and gizmos that the latest and greatest of a piece of software has. But for me, the very interesting part is to think about what can I give the artist, like what two controls that just do what they want them to do, that allow them to express themselves in a live context. So what I try to do when I design the OpenAV interfaces is remove all the technical details. Like when you're on stage, you don't want technical details. What you want is one big controller that lets, the awesome knob, the one that goes to 11, this kind of like typical rock guitar kind of jokes. But that's what I try and expose in the interface, so that it becomes very easy to work with this software in a live on stage kind of context.